Yo, what is up, Soul Fam? It's your boy Kris with Soldier of Life, and welcome back to the channel. So today in this video, we're going to be talking about 5 of the main visas that you can use or that you need in order to get into Germany. Now, really, these rules kind of apply to most other countries as the same. I know the one thing that when I was a kid, I didn't think that I would ever actually go to another country, let alone live there. But after living in 3 different countries of my own, applying for 3 different visas in 3 different places, I'm gonna focus mainly on the one in Germany. Now, one thing that you need to know is that for all of these visas, you kind of need to find a way to support yourself. You need to show income, show that you'll be able to take care of yourself here. That's like first and foremost. Second of all, you need to make sure that you have insurance. So that's medical insurance, just in case something happens to you. If you don't have that, some type of traveler's insurance that is accepted by the German government. So that's one of the huge things, which basically goes for all of them except for one. So I don't really want to have to say that for all of them, so I'm just going to get it out here. So if you are looking into moving into Germany, or you were just interested about the information on coming here, I know I had a lot of people ask me, how did I do it? This is the video that you need. So without further ado, let's get into the very first one. Now, the first one is going to be a job seeker's visa. Now, this job seeker's visa is valid for around 6 months, and its intended purpose is basically for a person that is not of the EU country zone, whatever it is, a person that is not from the EU country, and that gives them the ability to come into Germany and allows them the ability to look for a job for up to 6 months. Now, one thing that I think is a requirement is a bachelor or master's degree in your profession or field, whichever you're looking for a job in. And it gives you the time to come into Germany, stay here for a while, and actually search for employment. I know one thing for me, when I moved to Australia, one thing that was very difficult to me in my eyes was, how was I supposed to find a job in Australia before I got there? You know, like, that whole concept to me is crazy. But you know, some circumstances, some people have job offerings before they get to a country, and they have that ability to do that. But this visa here gives you the ability to actually come into the country and search for employment without having to leave after, you know, a fast, usual 90-day period. Now, that rolls into the second visa that I'm talking about, and that is a tourist visa. Now, most people might be asking me, like, why are you talking about coming into Germany and living there if you're talking about a tourist visa? Now, one thing about the tourist visa is that it is free for most countries. For most first world countries, the visa is free. Now, what this is a visa that gives you a 90-day period in the country. You're not allowed to work or any stuff like that. But the huge thing about this tourist visa is that coming into the country, a lot of times, depending on where you're from, it is 900,000 times easier to apply for alternate visas once you're in the country. Now, one thing I know that Germans love and the German government is just infatuated with is paperwork and waiting. It's so similar to the army, it's ridiculous. But for many of these visas, they will take at least 2 months of application processing time, and if you're outside of the country, it is even longer. So my hugest suggestion, my very #1 tip, if you wanted to get like the most gist out of this video, is when you're applying for a visa in Germany, do it in country and do it as soon as you get there. The one thing that I will not ever hold like low in the totem pole is a visitor's visa. When I first got here, when I was trying to live in Germany, I was utilizing the visitor's visa, going from different countries, making sure I didn't stay exact 90 days in the Schengen zone. Now, using that method, I was actually able to stay in Germany, well, stay in Europe for longer than the 90-day period. If you want to know more about that stuff right there, I was able to stay in Europe for longer than 90 days in an American passport with no visa, with just a visitor's visa. Hit me up with that information, but using that to your advantage is vital. Now, there are some countries that don't have the ability to obtain a tourist visa for free. Now, if you need that information, I linked to a website down below to make sure that you are in a country where you can get it for the free. But if not, then just go there, then they'll give you the information that you need for your specific country in order to fill out so you can can also apply for the tourist visa. Now, number 3 is the EU Blue Card. Now, this typical visa is not just specifically designated for Germany. This is actually designated for the entire EU region. Now, one thing about this visa though, the requirements are a little bit higher. In Germany, you need to have a job offering already for up to 50,000 euro a year. Now, one stipulation about this, if you're applying for a job that has rare job skills or that's indefinite needs, such as a scientist or mathematician or, you know, an IT professional like me, then you do not need to make $50,000 or euros a year. You actually only are required to have a job offering for up to 40,000 euros a year. So this visa is basically, it goes out to my business professionals and people that are already established in their fields and are able to make a contribution to the country, you know, in whatever field that is essential for working in Germany. So number 4 is the freelancer visa. Now, this is probably my personal favorite. Now, I am not under this visa as of yet, but one thing about this visa, it is probably one of the most flexible. Now, I'm not going to say that it's easy, but it's definitely one of the most flexible. So with the freelancer visa, basically gives you the ability to be a freelancer in whatever craft or whatever job that you choose. So for me, this gives you the most open options if you want to run your own business, but it's not necessarily, you know, something where you need a store or something like that. This is huge for the digital nomad creatives, the people that are, you know, living, working, and traveling all at the same time. I fall in that same boat, kind of, sort of, but not really now. This is the visa that you want to try to obtain. Now, one thing about this visa is you gotta be on your P's and Q's about your business. They're not gonna just take you in Germany just because, you know, oh, I do YouTube. It's not gonna work. There are many references and documents that you will need to show before you are able to apply and obtain the visa. Now, one thing this is, you need to go down to the Ausländerbehörde, get the application for the freelancer visa, and they're gonna ask for things such as a portfolio with your business plan, the amount of money that you plan on making, the revenue that you've already made from your business, some of the past reviews and letters that come from previous employers of your freelance business. They're gonna want to see all that, trust me. But just to make it easy, 2 of the big things that you really just need to worry about is that German government is only worried about 2 things. Number 1 is that you're going to make enough money that you will be able to pay taxes. Now, Germany's not letting you in for free, fam. It's not doing that. You gotta pay some of those taxes, bro. And number 2 is that you will make enough money to be able to support yourself and live a decent living. Now, one thing that a lot of people don't know, Germany might be a little bit more expensive than the country that you're from. So when keeping this in mind, you need to know around how much money it is expected of you from the German government for them to be able to approve your application. Don't come over here saying that I'm gonna live off 100 euro a month. It's not gonna happen. They don't want you in the streets. It's just not gonna happen. And number 5 is probably the most requested, the most important, the biggest, the most available, easiest one that you can get is a temporary residency. Now, this currently is the visa that I particularly am on. You know, one thing I always found fascinating about this place is that one cool thing about Germany is they will give just about everybody a chance. Now, one thing about this chance is that you can't mess it up. You can't mess it up. Don't do crimes. Don't sell dope. Don't be on the streets hanging with your homies. Don't do it. Now, with this temporary visa, it encompasses multiple different facets of things that you can do just to apply for the visa. But the 2 that are most important are having a vocational trade and studying in Germany. Now, most people, when you think of studying, it's probably going to school, going to university. And yes, that is very true. Germany has one of the absolute best backbones for university and college, I believe, in the world. This is a place where you can go to university for basically less than nothing, well, almost less than nothing, and you can actually get an amazing degree, you get an amazing field and amazing education. But on the flip side, I always found, no matter what country you're in, one of the easiest things that you can study is the language, because German is obviously nicht English. English. Yeah, I did it right, I think. Studying German is probably one of the easiest and best ways for a person to live or reside in Germany for longer than 90 days. Now, like I said before, this is the current visa that I am on. It is called an Aufenthaltstitel. I can still not say that word, but basically I've been assigned a visa for myself to prosper, learn, and try to grow in Germany. Now, obviously it's a big thing for me right now because COVID is kicking our butts and class was canceled, but I was still able to get an extension to continue my classes learning German because you got to learn German and live in Germany, dog. It's just, and basically upon completion of those courses, then you can start applying for other visas in other fields to stay longer if you want to, or you can go somewhere else in the EU. I don't know, but it's basically the stepping stone that you need if you want to live, work, or stay in Germany for longer than a day or two. So that's all I got for you guys today in this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it somewhat educational. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to put them down below. I will do my best to answer every single one. If you like content like this, I gotta show you how to do this thing in Germany, in Deutschland, you know what I'm saying? Hit me up, let me know. Also, suggestions are always appreciated. That's all I got for you guys today. It's Kris with Soldier of Life, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.